Hey everybody, Cindy here with Monarch Mom DIY. So excited to be bringing you these Dollar Tree chalkboard hacks today. I have 4 DIYs for you. DIY number 1, we are going to take one of these hanging chalkboards that has the wood at the top, one of the wall stickers from Dollar Tree, some beads, a word, and some paint. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to remove the hanger from the top of the chalkboard, and because I'm going to be putting a sticker on here, I probably could have gone ahead and painted the entire black surface, but I just was concentrating on making sure I had the edges covered in case any of the chalkboard stuck out behind the sticker. And I am going to do this on both this front chalkboard side and the back side. Next, taking some beads, I'm just going to string some that I'm going to add to the hanger at the top just to make it a little bit more decorative and to bring in the green color from the sticker that we're going to be putting on the front and back. Next, I'm going to use this color Pink Sky, and I'm going to go ahead and paint this on the wood piece on the front, the back, the top edge, and the side edges as well. Of course, you'll just choose paint colors that coordinate with the decorative wall sticker that you're going to put on the front. Then I'm going to use that same paint color to paint 2 of these wood word stickers from Hobby Lobby. You can just choose whichever one goes with your sticker, or you can use letter stickers or word stickers that you have as well. And as I mentioned earlier, we'll do the pink cloud or pink sky. I can't remember which one this is. It's the darker one on the back, and then also take that white around the edges. Again, if I was going to do this again, I would just go ahead and paint the entire front chalkboard and back surface with my white paint so you don't see any of the darker color coming through the sticker. Next, I'm just measuring how wide my chalkboard is so that I know how long of a piece to cut of my border sticker. I thought this one was so pretty, and it came with 2 lengths of this sticker, so you can just choose the section that you want. I actually only need 1 piece of this border sticker to do the front and the back of this square chalkboard, so I can do 2 more of these, which will be awesome. So then we're just going to peel it off, and the other reason that I painted is because the chalkboard is a little bit taller than the sticker, so you'll see I have a white border now at the top and the bottom. And once I crease my edge there really good, I'm going to use my sander to get the excess of the sticker off either of the sides. And then we'll apply the other sticker to the back side. Then taking my words that I painted to match the top border, I'm just going to find a place to stick those on the white part of my sign on either side. Then we're going to restring our jute twine with the beads on it onto the holes there at the either side of our sign, and now we have a 2-sided decor. You can have it say the happy or the dream, or you could do 2 different designs on the different sides, but I think this turned out really, really cute, and you can take this idea and use it for any color scheme or decorative wall sticker from Dollar Tree. For DIY number 2, we're going to make a functional and cute piece for the house using 6 of these smaller rectangular easel chalkboards, and I found this beaded family sign at the Dollar Tree as well. You could actually make this with more chalkboards. I just wanted to make mine with 6. We're going to make a memo or menu board. Here though, because these frames are not very deep, I am going to tape off the chalkboard so that I can quickly and easily paint the frames on these chalkboards. So I'm just using painter's tape, and then I will clean up any extra with my little fingertip knife, but I'm going to put tape on all 6 of my chalkboards. Now here's that little easel that I said was on the back of each one. I'm just going to break that off so that these chalkboards can lay flat. I am, however, going to keep these little easels because you never know when I might want to add those to a project. So get all those easels off. This will let your chalkboards lay flat, and then we'll easier be able to paint them. Some of them were a little bit rough, so I did go ahead quickly with my sander first before I applied my paint. And I decided on a red and black theme for my menu memo board. So I'm going to take my Crimson Waverly chalk paint. And for right now, I'm just going to paint this top edge on each of my chalkboards, and then also the inside edge where the tape is, just to get that painted there. I'm not going to paint any of the outside edges until I have these put together, so that I'm only painting the ones that will be showing. Next, coming to my wood beaded sign that says family. I've also seen this that says blessed, but I thought this would go well. I'm going to remove the hanger with the beads, and I want to paint the word family with that crimson paint. I'm going to come in later when this is dry and do the 2 cross pieces with black. Once our paint was dry, I'm just going to take now all that painter's tape off and hopefully get some nice clean black chalkboards with a pretty red border. Next, I'm going to take the beads that were on the hanger and I'm going to put them on a skewer so that I can paint them black. And now that my chalkboard paint is all dry, I'm going to take these now and I'm going to glue them together in pairs side by side. And actually they're a little more even if I flip them over. So I'm going to do this with the chalkboards facing down on the table. So for now, just putting 2 together, and then once those 3 pairs are dry, we'll glue those together as well. As I mentioned before, I'm going to come back in now with my black paint and paint those 2 cross pieces that the word family is attached to. And now that my beads are dry, I'm going to put all of those onto a piece of jute twine so we can tie those back to the top of the family word. Now, even though I used pretty strong wood glue, I am going to take some of these larger craft sticks from Dollar Tree, and I'm just going to hot glue and place those on the back along the seams where the chalkboards are glued together. This is just going to make sure that these chalkboards don't come apart and it did only take 6 of these craft sticks. So once everything was all glued together, I saw some spots where you could see it wasn't painted. So I did take my red paint and I'm going to go around now all the outside edges now that everything is together. And then on the front, I'll go in a little bit where you can see some of those spaces and just make sure everything is painted nice and evenly. Next, I'm going to take those beads that I took off and painted black, and now I'm going to tie those back on to the family sign. Now, if you just want to use this as a memo board, or if you want to designate each chalkboard for a specific member of the family, you could label your chalkboards differently. I'm actually going to use these little stickers, and I'm going to label these by the days of the week using Saturday and Sunday for that bottom right-hand chalkboard. And our final step is just to run a bead of hot glue along the top edge there of our chalkboards. And I'm going to glue the family sign there at the top using that bottom black piece. And this will complete our little memo menu board. And here's our completed project. I would love to know, if you made one of these, what you would use it for and how you would label the chalkboards. For DIY number 3, I'm going to show how you can take one of these decorative chalkboards from Dollar Tree as well as a few other items to make a really cute farmhouse decorative piece. So I'm using this larger frame, 8 by 10 I believe, and I'm going to take everything out including the glass, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to use a piece of this shiplap wallpaper and I'm going to put this on the front of the glass. So I'm just placing the wallpaper on my trimmer and cutting it down slightly larger than the glass so that I can get it lined up and then just trim off any excess. Once that's on there and trimmed, we're going to put that back in the frame. And I did notice that because I took some layers out that it was a little floppy. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my hot glue gun and I'm going to hot glue all the way around those edges there and press that backing sheet down so that the glass and the backer are all the way to the front of the frame. Now I found 2 different shapes of this little hanging chalkboard. I'm going to use this more oval shaped one. Super cute. I'm going to remove the string from it and I'm going to glue this right onto the center of my little shiplap sign here that I've made with the frame. You could go a little bit lower if you want a little bit more space, like for decoration as far as like a bow and greenery like I'm going to do.
So I'm going to make a really simple bow using just one loop of this wire-edged burlap ribbon from Dollar Tree, taking a piece of jute twine, tying it around the center, and then once we have that knotted, we'll trim off the excess and just fluff out the two sides of our bow. Just placing my bow at the top, I'm going to take little pieces of my boxwood greenery and try to decide where I want to place it, how much I want to use. It's always a good idea to kind of have a plan before you start gluing things down. This was a little much, so you're going to see when I start gluing, I'm going to use a little bit less of the greenery so my sign is not so top heavy. Then once I had a little bit of the greenery down, I'm going to go ahead and glue down the bow. I have noticed this burlap ribbon from Dollar Tree. You got to hold that a while before it'll actually stick to whatever you're trying to glue it to. But get your bow down, and then I am going to put a tiny bit more greenery like at the top of the bow as well. To finish, I'm just going to put a little bit of this white flower right in the middle of our bow. Now, I'm going to use a magnolia stencil on the chalkboard, but you could definitely use one of the chalk markers or pencils that is from Dollar Tree. I just wanted to get this word hello in this really pretty script, so I'm just going to do what's easy for me and use the stencil and just a little bit of white chalk paste. But again, you can use a chalk pencil or crayon or marker and write whatever you would like on your sign. And here's our finished sign. I love it. If I was going to do this again, I probably would bring the chalkboard down just a little bit more, but I hope you guys are inspired by this idea to create something of your own. For DIY number 4, we're going to recreate something I saw on Pinterest using these easel chalkboards or whiteboards and some tumbling tower blocks, as well as some of the scraps of my Dollar Tree wallpaper that I used in last week's video. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to first paint the little wood legs that are showing on the front. This is optional, of course. You could just keep them the natural wood if you'd like. And I'm also going to paint the side and top edges. On the back, I did also decide to paint around that wood frame going around the back, and I'm going to paint most of that middle leg because when it's extended, you can see pretty much all of it. I won't show you all the painting of all 6 of these, but I did decide to do a couple of them with night sky, and I'm going to do one with gold. Once my easels are all painted and drying, I'm going to take some tumbling tower blocks from Dollar Tree. For each of my easels, I need 4 blocks. So what I'm going to do here that means I need 12 pairs. So I'm going to do 8 pairs with the natural blocks, and I'm going to do 4 pairs with the ones that are brown that come in the set. Just go off what the color you painted your easel and the wallpaper that you're going to use for the decoration on here. So once my pairs are glued, I'm going to come back to my chalkboards, and I'm just using a baby wipe to get any paint that got onto the chalkboard or the easel or the dry erase part, and just getting that all cleaned off. Coming back to the tumbling tower blocks, I'm going to also clean off any wood glue that may have seeped through. Once these pairs are all the way dried, I'm going to sand them slightly, and then I'm going to glue 2 pairs together. You'll see that in just a second, and then I will have 6 of these sets of 4, 1 for each of my easels. Once those are dry, I'm going to sand them again lightly to get off any excess glue and to just try to make them as smooth as possible. The 2 that are brown, I'm going to leave that color, and then these 4 unfinished ones, I'm going to paint to match the decoration I'm going to make on each of the easels. Now that all our painting is done, I'm just measuring the surface of our chalkboard and our whiteboard. I'm going to cut a piece of the decorative wallpaper to go on the cover on the front edge of each of my chalkboards and whiteboards. So I believe it was about 4 by 6. So I think I trimmed each piece to about 4.5 by 6.5, just so it would be easiest to line it up. So once I get the little strip off, I am going to line up my wallpaper on the bottom edge of my chalkboard. Once we have that all smoothed out, we'll kind of crease the edge there and then remove the excess using our little mini sander. Now the last step here is going to be to lightly sand our painted sets of tumbling tower blocks, and then we are going to glue these with hot glue at the bottom of the chalkboard or whiteboard to be a little ledge. And how cute are these little phone holders? I love these. So inexpensive. I think I'm going to make some of these for my craft show. You could make these and seriously sell them for like $5 and still make a profit, because one of those sheets of wallpaper, you could make a lot of different ones. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Let me know in the comments which of these Dollar Tree chalkboard hacks you liked the best and plan on recreating for yourself. You can also check out some of these other of my latest videos. Thanks so much, and we'll see you next time.